Greenland has firmly pushed back against US President Donald Trump's latest move, this time over a proposed hospital ship. Prime Minister Jens-Frederik Nielsen made it clear on Sunday, the answer is no, thanks. The response comes after Trump announced plans to send a US Navy hospital ship to the Arctic territory, claiming it would help treat people he says are not receiving adequate medical care. This latest episode adds to months of tension surrounding Trump's repeated interest in acquiring Greenland, a semi-autonomous territory under Denmark. The idea has sparked diplomatic friction not just between Greenland and the US, but also within the NATO alliance, with Denmark firmly opposing any notion of a takeover.
I would like to express my deepest gratitude to you for your incredible support and kindness. Words cannot fully convey just how much your help has meant to me. Please accept my heartfelt thanks for everything you have done, as your generosity has made a significant difference. I am truly overwhelmed by the warmth and care you have shown. Thank you very much for your time. The current situation is extraordinarily grave and deeply concerning, and the complex geopolitical interests involved have put an overwhelming amount of immense pressure on our country and its people. Yes, and my answer to this will not be very long. We remain united and stand firmly together in this difficult situation. Right now, we are in the midst of a major geopolitical crisis. Greenland is not for sale and will never be owned by the USA. Greenland will not be governed by the USA. Greenland will not be a part of the United States of America. We choose the Greenland we know today, which is an integrated part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Now, we are currently confronting a strategic geopolitical crisis, and if we have to choose between the USA and Denmark here and now, we choose Denmark. We choose NATO. We choose the Kingdom of Denmark. We choose the European Union. This is certainly not the time for internal political discussions and domestic division. This is the time to stand united and firm together and build on the community we know and the one we want. That's why we go into the room together, we leave together, and we engage in dialogue with the American people together. Greenland, as part of the Kingdom of Denmark, is a member of NATO. We have an immense amount of unwavering confidence in the NATO alliance, and we know that NATO fully supports and stands behind us in this situation. But the support from Europe and Denmark is also vital. Absolutely crucial in this particular.
This current situation and the circumstances involved.
It hasn't been an easy task to stand up against the persistent and completely unacceptable pressure from our most significant and closest ally for over a generation. But at the same time, it truly seems that the most challenging and demanding part of this journey is still lying ahead of us. This isn't just a matter concerning Greenland or the future of the king. It is about the very core of our national identity. This is fundamentally about the fact that you shouldn't be able to unilaterally change international borders through the use of military force, that you can't simply purchase or subjugate another group of people. And it's about making sure that smaller nations do not have to live in constant fear of their larger neighbors. That's why we are clearly and firmly saying no. And that's why many allies are taking a similar stand and providing support in the Nordics, across Europe, and in the rest of the world. Tomorrow, we will meet. We are meeting Greenland and Denmark with the United States. We come together, we stay together, and we move forward together. We want dialogue and we want cooperation. We are not seeking any conflict. But our message is clear. Greenland is not for sale. And that is why he stands for what is absolutely fundamental here.
Greenland said today, we prefer to stay with Denmark. Do you see that as the final word? The Premier of Greenland.
Well, that's their problem. That's their problem. I disagree with him. I don't know who he is, don't know anything about him, but that's going to be a big problem for him.
Do you want to see democracy in Iran?
Ideally, you'd like to see it, but what we want to see is we don't want to see people killed, and we want to see a little bit of freedom for these people. These people have been living in hell for a long time. That used to be a hell of a country. I have friends that used to invest in Iran, and they did well with their investments. It was a great place. The people were great. Even the leadership was good. And now it's living in hell.
Thank you. And the policy question. How much money are you thinking of giving people in Greenland to get them on board with a possible U.S. takeover?
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that.
But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Okay? I would like to make a deal, you know, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. And I'm a man, and by the way, I'm a fan of Denmark too. I have to tell you, and you know, they've been very nice to me. I'm a big fan, but you know, the fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago doesn't mean that they own the land. I'm sure we had lots of boats go there also, but we need that because if you take a look outside of Greenland right now, there are Russian destroyers, there are Chinese destroyers and bigger, there are Russian submarines all over the place. We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't. So we're going to be doing something with Greenland, either the nice way or the more difficult way. Please, go ahead, ma'am.
On Greenland, Mr. President, why is it so important to you to own it when you have a military presence there, which you could expand to affect the security?
Because when we own it, we defend it. You don't defend leases the same way. You have to own it. And, you know, with a nation, look at what happened with Obama, with that horrible deal they made with Iran. It was a short-term deal. It was like a 9-year deal. Countries can't make 9-year deals or even 100-year deals. Countries have to have ownership. And you defend ownership, you don't defend leases. And we'll have to defend Greenland. If we don't do it, China or Russia will. It's not going to happen. We are not going to have, and I like China, I like Russia, I love the people of China, I love the people of Russia. I get along very well with President Putin, but I'm very disappointed in him. I get along very well with President Xi. I'm going to go over to China in April, but I don't want them as a neighbor in Greenland. Not going to happen. And by the way, and NATO's got to understand that. I'm all for NATO. I saved NATO. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have a NATO right now. But we're not going to allow Russia or China to occupy Greenland, and that's what's going to happen if we don't. Go ahead.
Mr. President, one, can you respond to that? And two,
yeah, it was an amazing report. The most amazing thing is government jobs are way down, and yet the unemployment or the employment numbers are very good. We've gotten rid of tremendous numbers of federal government jobs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And yet the employment numbers are very good. They're really getting better. But now we have all those people to work in the private sector for a lot more money. I think that's one of the very big things. The other thing is at 5.4%. And remember, this is after we had a shutdown. And that shutdown had an impact because the concept of the shutdown, even though it's before, people knew we were going to be shutting down. A lot of bad things happened. And by the way, on January 30th, you may have another shutdown. We'll see what happens. But I think the numbers, Caitlin, were really amazing. Look, to think about 5.4%, nobody thought that. They thought it was going to be 2%. And you know what it is? It's tariffs. And it's also November 5th. We had a great election, a great, great election. Our country was dead 1.5 years ago. And now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I hope you guys were impressed. 5.4%. And we haven't even really transitioned yet. There's no reason it can't be much, much higher than that.